Guy overhears fiancée speaking about ex on the phone, things escalate when he confronts her. Welcome to Castable, friends, comment what you think about this story, share your experiences, also give me like, subscribe and click on the bell for more Castable stories. My 31-year-old fiancé and I 33 years old got engaged in October last year and have been in a relationship for 5 years. Everything has been great and I can honestly say that I've never met anyone who comes close to her. She's absolutely been the love of my life. I've known her most of it. We grew up on the same street just round the corner from each other. Her mum and dad still stay in the same house and I stay in the same house I grew up in, which my mum left to me when she passed away in 2014. We still don't officially live together yet, but for all intents and purposes, she lives here. Her and her parents are close though, and she still has her bedroom there and will occasionally spend the night there, but she's never away from here. So this morning I decided to go take a walk to the shops to buy some things, and as I was about halfway down, 15-minute walk, I realized I had forgotten my face mask. Masks are mandatory here in shops since the 10th of July, so I had to walk back and get mine. When I walked in the door to grab the mask from the kitchen table, I heard her speaking to someone loudly on the phone in the living room, and she said, "Yeah, but David will always be the love of my life." David is her ex-boyfriend. I don't know a great deal about him, but I know they were in a relationship for 2 years and it ended a year before we started dating. He also dumped her. I grabbed my mask and walked back out, and just as I got to the shops I felt weird and I had to sit down as my mind was going in 1,000 different directions. I eventually got back home and immediately told her I feel sick and sent her back round to her parents' house as I didn't want her about as I was ill. I'm now lying in my bed wondering what to do, to be honest. I know she didn't do anything wrong. It's not like she cheated on me or intentionally went out of her way to hurt me, but what's heard can't be unheard. She said that the person she's agreed to marry isn't a patch on an ex she's not been with for 6 years. The fact she said he will always be the love of her life also means that it's a void game. Her heart's already been taken and there's nothing I could ever do to change that. Also, what would happen if he did come back into her life? You can't turn down the love of your life when they come calling, and I'd be dumped quicker than yesterday's leftovers. So how do I handle this? Tell her that I was listening and that I heard her say that. Just end the relationship for a completely vague reason like, "Oh, it's not you, it's me," etc. Swallow my pride and pretend I didn't hear it. Everything has been great, but there's no way on this earth I want to be someone's second choice, especially when her ex is the one on her mind that she obviously would be with if she could. I'm thinking about just saying it's not working between us. She's now texting me about coming round tonight and spoiling me 'cause I'm the sickie. Update. I was gonna update sooner, but I've spent the last 3.5 days in a drunken stupor, so my apologies, but I'll warn you, this is not a good update. So after posting and receiving some advice on Reddit on Thursday, I was thinking of telling her to come back round on Thursday night so we could talk, but settled on Friday morning instead as I wanted to get my head in a clearer state. She still thought I was ill, so I needed a bit of time to think through what I was going to say. She comes round on Friday morning at about 8 a.m. and I think she could see right away that something was wrong, as I must have looked stony-faced and you could cut the atmosphere with a knife. Anyway, I said to her that I wasn't really sick and that yesterday as I was going to the shops I forgot my mask, had to come back to retrieve it, and when I got in to get it I heard her talking in the other room, about David. Her face went completely pale and she started welling up, so I instinctively stopped talking and just stared at her. She then runs into the toilet, locks the door and starts hysterically crying, and alarm bells are going off all over the place in my head. His reaction made me think he didn't know what he had heard, so he must have also said some other slur about him. I chapped on the door and told her if she has any aspirations of saving this relationship she had better tell me everything right now. 30 minutes or so go by and she finally comes out dabbing her face with a tissue and tells me David got back in touch with her 4 or 5 months ago and she had been sleeping with him once or twice a week since. All I can think of is that the snippet of conversation I heard her having was her friend or something helping her choose between David and me. When I heard this I hit the roof. I threw her out, grabbed handfuls of her stuff, put it in bin bags and threw it out the door into the front garden. She's still standing there, by the way. So I grabbed my garden hose and soaked the bags with it. I'm not proud of that, it was extremely mean and in retrospect, I never should have done that. She at this point has run round to her house and about a minute later her dad comes rampaging round screaming. Her dad and I end up rolling about the now quagmire-ish front garden fighting. At about 9 a.m. in the morning no less they ended up showing up law enforcement vans and everything, and half the street was out because of the Rammy. Afterwards, I blocked her on everything and went to my friend's house where the three of us spent the weekend and Monday. They took off work, I'm on furlough, drinking. When I got back in the house this morning I noticed she had been back in the house at some point, made the beds, done the washing and ironed. I have no idea why she did this. As I'm writing this she's tried to get in again. I haven't been able to change the locks yet so I put the door chains on the front and back door and from upstairs heard the door opening and the chains clanging as she tried to get in. There's also a note that she's put through the door. I don't even want to read it right now, I'm too hurt, hungry and hungover to even think about what she has to say. Update 2. Sorry for the belated update but I'm in a bad way right now, I'm half drunk as I write this so bear with me. Since everything that has happened things have taken a turn for the worse. As many of you mentioned I should do, I sent an email to her father, explaining my side of the story and apologizing for taking things public and embarrassing his daughter but as I said previously, I acted instinctively. I didn't apologize for fighting him as I was reacting to him coming at me. He treated me badly and accused me of biting his ear for some reason. So that's what was stuck in my teeth. I'm joking of course, if you don't laugh. A week ago I was out on the street and found my car key from the passenger side rear view mirror to the trunk. Last Sunday I was walking down the road to meet a friend at the Arches, a place where I occasionally hang out to walk off an arched bridge, and as I was rounding the corner common to the town gossip called me a disgrace. I told her I am a disgrace for treating my ex-fiancée poorly. For the record, I have never laid a finger on her in my life. Either she, her father or someone else is perpetuating this lie and me throwing bad vibes and hosing down her laundry bags in the yard has given her this authenticity. I haven't spoken to my ex and she hasn't tried to contact me anymore. I think they're all on the same page now, that I'm the bad guy. I've got the ball rolling in putting my house up for sale, I can't live here anymore. I wish I still had my mum to lean on, she would make things better. Sorry for the bad update. Update 3. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who has reached out. I've tried to reply to everyone and hopefully, this update will help. I am still in my house but I will be renting it out rather than selling it. I can't in good conscience give up something that was my mum's and has been in the family for generations. I have spoken to the father and I understand why the family circled the wagons but to throw me under the bus so brutally, was genuinely ridiculous. Collateral damage to me and my name is alright apparently. Only known them my entire life. All in all, I feel like I'm in the middle of a bad downpour that changed course. I'm still struggling but I feel much better now that I have an umbrella and a roadmap. Also would like to note that I posted on social media giving my side of the story. Whether that was right or not is up for debate but it was after I had let those close to me discreetly spread it first so I felt the time was right. Her side is still singing off the same hymn sheet but hoping neutrals will see things from my side. My close pals have been incredible throughout all this, but that's why they're close pals I guess. Update 4. Well it's been over a year and I have since moved out of my house and am now renting it to an older couple, so thought I would update you. I'm doing great and have even got myself a girlfriend, wish me luck. What did I learn? Things got complicated quickly, but I stood my ground and, for the first time in what seems like forever, I look to the future. We only have one life, right? It's not worth spending it with someone who would treat me like garbage. Friends, comment what you think about this story, share your experiences, also give me like, subscribe and click on the bell for more castable stories. Comments of this story. 1. I wonder what would have happened if he hadn't found out. Most likely the ex and David would be having relationships now while he suffers. Anyway, it's quite obvious that he feels better from his last update. I'm curious about how karma will pay her. If it happens of course. 2. I didn't know my ex had been having relationships with the same guy for 4 years. Granted, she's a teacher and loves to travel, and the guy was in another country she liked to travel to and had friends in, so, visiting friends, was a plausible excuse. I'm still questioning that if she can do that to someone she still claims she loves and is her best friend for almost 2 decades, what would she do to her enemies? I'm glad I got out of that mess. 3. This exact story is why people need to stop trying to be the bigger person, get the story out about why the relationship ended. If the other person has been mean enough to act that way, they are also going to be mean enough to spread lies about what happened. 4. Facts. When my ex cheated on me with a coworker, who knew we were together we had all worked together before I got a better job, the coworker tried to fight me over him and just said such nasty things to me to rub it in my face, so I screenshotted all of it, including her and him admitting to it, and sent it to all their coworkers who I still had a good relationship with. 2 weeks of the silent treatment from their coworkers and they quit. Last I heard they're both on hard drew asterisk now and homeless, so good riddance. 5. I know lots of people were saying they wanted OP to sue for defamation, but I imagine that would be a very long process and hard to prove in court if the lies were spread via word of mouth rather than anything in writing. Hopefully the social media post he made was enough to set the record straight, particularly if he included all the evidence he had, such as the letter from his ex, emails to and from his ex's father, and photos of his car being keyed. 6. Family will always do this. But Jesus, that was nasty. In a way it's a good thing you didn't get married, that show would have been horrible. They sound the worst. The first bit sounds like she was trying to make up, but as soon as they saw you wouldn't roll over, the knives came out. It's a shame you can't sue or file a complaint for being pushy and annoying. Glad it's all worked out for you. I hope she ended up getting cheated on by Dave. Sorry that's harsh, but this is emotional cruelty. You dodged a bullet. 7. Is slander not a thing? Defamation of character. I'm glad you've proven that you can wade the sewers and find the exit, and now no boundaries for your new girlfriend. I hope you find out your ex is doing meh, and that either way, you know what you did was the right move. Parasites that say they are symbiotes are the worst, since you don't realize they are leeching until it's already a problem. Good on you, my dude, just be careful with the drinking as a coping mechanism, but by now you already know that. And keep on keeping on. 8. Please know this old lady from California has been cheering you on since your first post. I knew you were going to come out to the other side and find true happiness and committed love. I'm so very happy to read your update. Spend your life surrounded by those who give you true and faithful love, the person you know in your heart with have your back and love unconditionally. Please keep us posted, we care about you. Sending you huge internet hugs from California. You've got a beautiful life waiting for you. Friends, comment what you think about this story, share your experiences, also give me like, subscribe and click on the bell for more castable stories.